This is technology, I don't know how to run it.
Your problem.
This is a ticket, I should have said something.
We are rocking.
Okay, I'd like to open the September 21st, 2017 Board of Health meeting. This meeting is being recorded audio and visually. Roll call, please.
Do you want to announce if anybody in the audience is recording?
So I said that there were video
Okay.
recording.
David Williams,
Here?
Beth Stevens,
Here.
Sue Starkey, called in,
Yep, excuse.
Dave Adams.
Here.
Um,
All set? All right, agenda item number 3, accept minutes. You were sent the August 17th, 2017, and the August 24th. Minutes. Motion is second. Any other discussion? If none, all those in favor, or both, okay?
Before I forget and get yelled at the end of the meeting, day, no, we sign it.
So we sign it? Okay.
No, I was thinking they would show up for that meeting, just a few minutes later. On the
Correct.
17th.
If you read down further, it says Dave Adams arrived.
No, I did, I just want to make sure that nobody was. I did,
It's
I
true.
actually showed up.
Because I got the other one here.
No, 2.
You just signed that agenda, congratulations.
That's the board of health. That's the agenda. Okay, all right. So there's one more?
You're the chair, it's okay, you can sign it, you can sign this.
I can sign it.
Oh, I'm like,
You haven't been voted yet. You're not signing this until voted.
We voted them both now.
You just, I don't
no,
think
we
that's 17
have to do.
We voted the August. We voted them both at the same time.
Have you guys already got this?
Has everybody signed the attendance sheet, please?
There's 2 slips going around. There's one back here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just put those in order, so you're gonna get killed if you don't have them.
It's a rough office.
All set? All right, agenda item number 4, citizen forum. If anybody would like to address anything that's not on the agenda, please come forward. Yep.
A couple of weeks ago, I came to a meeting and I,
Can you announce your name?
and I asked about the problem with light in town, specifically the area downtown. And I went down there, I took some pictures, and I know I don't have to take pictures. I know you all know what it looks like, but I thought I would take some pictures anyway and show you. It's pretty bad down there. There's a lot of glass, there's bricks, there's broken windows, there's tarps on the roof. There's some obscene graffiti down there. And I was hoping that the Board of Health would address this issue to see what can be done about it. Because I know that there's a blight bylaw, and I know that Andy was the one who wanted the blight bylaw. He was glad that the town council took it up, he pushed for it, he got the blight bylaw, and so if that's not blight, I don't know what blight is. When I go down there and look down there, it almost looks like in the center of our town is a slum. And so I would like the Board of Health to do something about it. I'm open to, you telling me what you can do about it. When I look at the blight bylaw, it seems to me that you could do something about it. You could clean it up. I know that it has to go into receivership, but it also says here, as far as I can tell, that you can clean it up even before it goes into receivership. So that's what I'm hoping that the Board of Health will at least look into it and try to remedy this. Because, like I said, right in the center of downtown Southbridge, it looks like a slum. It's just not very good looking. If we're ever going to want businesses to come to this town, we're going to want to clean it up. And And that's it. Hoping that you guys can do something about it, especially the graffiti. I know that the building on the corner there, they're saying, well, the guy is no longer owns it, or he's trying to go into receivership. But the building with the graffiti, I know somebody owns that building, because I saw people going up there. To go into those doors, so they must be renting it, and must be collecting some rent. So I'm sure you can afford to clean that graffiti off. So anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I was just going to say if we could defer to Andy about that, because him and I have talked extensively
Right.
regarding those properties.
Yeah, we're just,
We can-
put that on here, and hopefully you can report back to us. We're not prepared to make any decisions, we don't know anything, but thank you for bringing that on, putting it on our radar. Okay,
And a related question.
just a second, Andy, you all set? Or in, yeah, Kevin, why don't you come up rather than, let's just,
Kevin Buxton, 28 Columbus Ave. It's kind of related to this. I know recently the town council approved some grant money for an ordinance officer.
CDBG monies have been assigned to hire a part-time building inspector for the purpose of including multifamily dwellings in the annual inspections that, building code sets forth criteria for annual inspections for places of assembly and certain residents, including three families and more. The town has never done it, it's a program that I'm hoping to introduce with the introduction of this part-time person. We do not have the person yet, and when we get him, this person's gonna have to develop that plan from zero to go.
So my point being is presently the inspection department has no agent for blighted areas such as Mr. McAfee pointed.
The whole department are listed as agents to enforce the blight bylaw. And I know Beth asked, and Dave said to talk about it, but I can briefly talk about this right now. I sat down with Mr. Caprera today to ask him to investigate what my enforcement authority is, what my enforcement path is. The problem is, these are commercial buildings with no housing involved in them. Most of my experience has been at least associated with housing because I use the housing court. Open camera, I'll admit right now, I do not know my enforcement path to bring this to fruition. I can cite all I want, I can issue orders to correct all I want. It's the next step, what do I do? I know I can find, we've got one gentleman who owns one of the properties in question that the amount of money he owes to the town in taxes, a fine isn't gonna be effective, I can find him. Also, same reason, I can't ask him to do any work on the building because we can't give him permits because he owes taxes to the town. It's a vicious circle right now. So I spoke to Mr. Caprera today and asked him to investigate what my options for enforcement are on this.
But the finding of the properties, even though, like you said, he's already in back taxes, he can't really repair the situation. But I would think that the finding opportunity to emphasize to the property owner that the longer you wait to fix this, the more burdensome it's going to become on the property owner.
There's also a purchase and sale on one of the properties in question right now, or at least an offer. So that may affect everything and may throw me back to square zero. Again, I gotta check with legal to find out what my options are for enforcement.
But by the sound of it, the compliance officer is going to be a
The
period of
compliance
time.
officer is for, we wrote the CDBG up. What we are trying to do is prevent conditions of concern from becoming blighted. So he is going to be doing preventative inspections on all of the multifamilies in town, going up and noting that this railing is starting to get loose and you have to fix it before it becomes a blighted and unsafe condition. So his primary job is going to be to basically, on an annual basis, go into these multifamilies, and the number of multifamilies we're planning on hitting one every 3 to 5 years. So on a cycling basis, he will try to prevent buildings from getting blighted. The main responsibility for addressing the blighted properties still lies with me and through my authority, Casey.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. That you were getting up to speak. Any other citizens coming forward? If none, we'll close that out. So agenda item number 5, old business, update on toter program. Andy?
As the board knows, the council approved purchase of the toter program through the Seller Royalties Fund. We have ordered $180-something thousand worth of toters. These include 1 trailer load of recycling toters and 4 trailer loads of solid waste toters. We have contracted with a company to assemble the toters and deliver them. We're going to supply them with a list of everybody who has not got one yet. These will be passed out to everybody in town who has not received one. And upon adoption of the solid waste regs, if we do it tonight, if we do it next month, the use of either our toter or a toter of similar design will be required in the town. We ordered enough toters so that, as the board is aware, from the first start of this program, we agreed that we would hand them out to everybody that wanted one. And thereafter, if it was lost, mutilated, plowed over, filled with oil, lost, used to ship something to another town, and they didn't have one, they would be responsible for paying our cost for replacement if they went through the town. They can go through Home Depot if they want and get a similar one. So we did order some extras so that we would have the overflow for when that occurs. And based on the fee, we would hope that as we get close to the end of our surplus, we'll have enough money to order another trailer load. So it should be self-sustaining once we get them out there the first time. We bought 3 trailer truck units to store the overflow. Those are being stored on town property behind locked gates. We have a commitment from the delivery company that the toters will be out to the people by the first week of November. So everything will be distributed by them. We have, and I've dumped a lot of this on Eric, and I've been working closely with Eric. We'll be issuing within the next week to a week and a half, mailing a postcard to everybody that basically says toters are coming, be ready for it. You can't get a whole lot of postcards, especially when you do the same thing in Spanish on the same postcard. So very brief, we are giving everybody a toter. Their expectation is that you will contain your trash within this toter, and that any bags outside the toter will not be collected. Thereafter, we plan on putting a stuffer in the Southbridge News, very inexpensive way to advertise. So people who actually do read it, or do open the Southbridge News, will get that information. We are ready to roll this out. The only thing that is holding us back from education and enforcement on these is the adoption of the solid waste regulations. Once those are adopted, we will have regulations to actually enforce. Our intention is November and December, we will hopefully be looking at non-compliance and talking to the people, if we can figure out who it is, talking to the people and educating them on the non-compliant issue until probably January 1st, and then we would ask that the board consider January 1st be the mandatory compliance, in which time we will start enforcement tickets or whatever we need. The tickets will be 21D tickets, which are enforceable or not enforceable, which are appealable to our hearings officer, and if they fail to appeal and fail to pay, are enforceable through the courts.
Question? Is there an, do you also have a public access notice?
I think we have one on, but I will ask Max, who works on our office part-time and for the cable company part-time, very convenient.
Public access to paper.
I believe we have it on the webpage, or
It's on the one page.
if there's some talk on the webpage.
Yeah.
I am very open to any other options for advertising because no matter what event I throw, no matter what, the day after an event, we hazardous waste day, we advertise it as hard as we can, and the day afterwards, at least 3 people call and say, when's your next hazardous waste day?
Twitter, Facebook, or you blip that, right?
I do not have access to either. Actually, I will have Eric, we do have a Facebook page, it's not well attended, I think it's 40 or 50 people, but I will have Eric also put it on Facebook.
Okay, Kevin, quick.
Yes, Andy, what's the total cost of this program and what do you anticipate your operating costs to be in the future?
Total cost of the program was approved by the council for the purchase of this. It is about $180,000 above what we've already invested. I think it's $181,000 or $182,000. And that's 4 trailers of toters. It was approved out of the capital budget, not the capital budget, it was approved out of the, prior to the new year, so it's not out of this budget. And it came from the landfill royalties, which we felt appropriate because waste to waste. Operating into the future, with the announcement of the closing of the landfill, we are going to try to bring on a enforcement officer or a curbside monitor for the remaining time, after which we expect the funding for that position to go away. So we are hoping to get enough enforcement out there, enough education out there that people will be aware of the program, and once we lose our curbside person, the burden on the department to enforce it will be a lot less because people will be aware that this is what's expected.
Does this have any impact on the scope of service? I'm sorry, through the chair. Does this have any impact on the scope of service and the contract for picking up?
So let's try to stay, let's try to make sure that we stay on, on top. I know I'm saying that this isn't, but I know this can spiral out. So we have a lot on the agenda today. We have 3 hearings, and so I don't mind. But like some of that, if it can just be discussion with Andy, that would be great also. So you can do that. But
One final question. With the original volunteer program, there was a little flyer that the resident had to fill out and sign. With the mass distribution, are residents going to still be held to that flyers, rules and regulations as far as
Yes, we
participation?
will not. The requirement was that the donation boxes will be assigned to a property, and the people of that property, the occupants and the owners, will be required to follow the laws as written, and the laws are pretty consistent with the policies that were set forth in that agreement.
I should have had you come up here, but anyway, because, no, just like in the future, I should have had you come up, because I want to avoid, the ping pong that we sometimes get. Paul, why don't you come up?
Yes, I feel like you're gonna say so. No, real quick. It doesn't make sense that you're gonna have all these law enforcement officers for trash. But to the general public, it doesn't make much sense that you're gonna get all these enforcement officers about trash, and you're just scratching your heads over the blight in the rotten buildings. I think that's what we'd like to see, an enforcement officer do something about the blight. If somebody has too much trash, it's Christmas, or they don't know where to put the big box that the TV came in, and we're gonna get someone to arrest them or fine them, but a building that's been sitting abandoned for 40 years, we don't know what to do about it. We don't have a clue. That's what should be enforced.
Okay.
And since I'm up here, that building next to the empty lot.
Okay, we're on the toter program now, so I understand. but-
It's connected because I'm connected. The kid that stabbed the nurse in the hospital lived in that building. And the
Okay.
police knew where he
All
lived.
right.
Human trash.
I know.
Oh, we don't know. But he's not supposed to be living in that building.
Okay, we're, let's,
Go sit down, Paul.
No,
I hear it every week.
let's
That's why
stay
you got me
on.
up. That's why you got me up. I'm up and I'm down. But it's the truth.
Why don't you come up?
Well, I'll be real quick.
Why don't you come up, because what I want to
I
avoid
gotta tell you this.
is the ping ponging that we get sometimes
Just
at
get
these
ping
meetings,
pong.
especially when it gets heated, and then people are just
Tennis.
yelling out or not.
Well, this is inspired by Mr. Pelletier's comment about advertising on the South News. Yeah, tonight, you're gonna have a hearing. The agenda wasn't even on the town website. Now, you may only have 30 people on the Facebook. Just because you have 30 people that like it, doesn't mean only 30 people look at it. Because I don't have this liking it, but I look at it at times, maybe every month and a half. But you can have a public hearing, the agenda's not out there. Some people are saying even that would be a violation of the open meeting law. I checked today, I didn't see how it would exactly be, but it's certainly a violation in the spirit of the open meeting law. So you can save these nice people here tonight that are here over the Beavers some time, if you just postpone this a month and put all your regulations up so that people know what's coming. You may have someone come here that'll give you a $100,000 idea you never even thought of. Save the town a bundle just by looking at what you're intending. Someone we never hear from will come up out of nowhere, come up with a great idea.
Okay.
But that would be really nice so people know that the hearing's coming, you'll have attendance, and it'll be in the spirit of public participation.
So you're saying it wasn't posted on the,
The town's website does state you're having a public hearing,
yeah,
but the specifics, as of yesterday, around this time, wasn't up there.
okay,
Uh,
but the notice,
That you're having a public hearing.
what's
I
that?
actually have a
It's not
response
enough.
to
There's
that.
enough
I did talk to
for
Maritza about that. Andy and Eric are in the process of trying to upload all of our Board of Health stuff. And I did speak to her earlier today about that, and she's gonna work on making sure that the agendas, once they get posted.
I'm
that
sure
they-
it
that
was
they
just
go
an
on.
oversight.
Because our last month's meeting was on there, I checked.
Well, I wasn't being
After-
critical of anything in the past, it's just, this is an
But-
important hearing.
No,
And I
no,
think
I
it should be out
understand,
there.
and that was, and I did actually address it and looked into it today
Well,
because of your comments.
And I do hope you consider postponing the meeting until it is posted.
Okay, well, if you've been here, you know that I've been pushing hard to have documents put on, listed on the website.
Well, then you should, I hope you're in agreement that because they weren't, the public doesn't know what's going on tonight, that we're very.
We'll see what the board decides at that time. Come on.
Well, Lamar Shell, 130 Briarwood Avenue. I have a couple of questions in regard to the todas.
Okay,
Correct me if I'm wrong, on your public hearings, waste regulations, is that for the total policy? This came right off the website.
Just look different.
Because
this looks different, so what is,
that's on the town website, and it's different than your chapter 10 of the Board of Health.
okay,
And in neither one of these, huh?
Chapter 2 of the board.
Chapter 10, public health, right off the town's.
Oh, chapter 10 of the general.
Yeah, the salvage. And this one talks about the 96
Can I
gallon.
point of order? We're going to be discussing the solid waste regs.
Right.
If we
So you-
discuss those, I don't want to put you off.
Well, my
It's best to
question,
do it
the
in
question
context.
about the toter, or is it a question about,
well,
Because of the bylaw versus what we're doing.
they say two different things,
Right.
number one.
right,
They have two different sizes. And what Mr. Pelletier mentioned tonight is
Yeah.
new to me, because he mentioned if you have something comparable to the new totas that you're putting out, you can use it.
Right.
What does that mean, comparable?
It meets the criteria. If it has a grab bar at the same height,
Let me
it has
put
a
it this way.
upper grab bar at the same height, and if it's capable of handling the load, and it is collectible by a typical,
I have
Trash
one that almost mimics our 96 gallon recycling bins.
the
Solid cover, 2 grab bars.
regulations are next discussion.
Okay. My question on this also is, you're gonna be talking enforcement on that,
enforcement on,
the new regulations.
well,
Here's my question. Town resident my whole life, town employee for 33 years. I am not against recycling. My wife and I, there's only two of us who recycle, we fill that bucket every 2 weeks. What I hate is making rules that aren't enforced.
So can I,
I mean, we have bylaws for our trash
okay,
containers now, and, I mean, you go around town on trash day, there are no covers. You go up Dresser Hill Road, there are no barrels. There has never been barrels, just bags.
no, and that's,
And my question is that if we're hiring people to enforce it, when is it going to be enforced? Maria Rav, day before yesterday. Bags on the side of the road, no tops. South Street, every week, bags on the side of the road. This is not far from downtown. And I've always abided by the rules. When we had to have a barrel, I went and I purchased this big barrel with the hinge cover. Because I believe in rules. If it's made for everybody and it's enforced equally. And that's always been one of my problems, that we make rules. All sounds good. I agree with the rules, but the enforcement is lacking.
okay.
May I see chapter 10, please?
So I don't wanna belabor the point. We do have a hearing, we do have a public hearing, and that's, you know, much of what you were saying is perfectly, should be part of that discussion. And I agree with you, the toters. But understand, that's a conversation we believe in also, you know, we want.
Because if we're gonna have a solid waste total policy,
Yeah,
which is the way this is titled, then if we're going to be allowed as citizens to purchase our own that meet that total, meet how? And it should be in here.
So
Specific should be in there.
I just don't disagree, but a lot of it is in there because it describes what it has to be able to do, which is it has to be able to be grabbed by the vehicle, and that fits that criteria.
Which they already do it. So,
Okay, all right,
Okay.
thank you. So, any, from the board, any comments, questions, comments about the clerk as we go forward? Yeah, we're, like we said, we're gonna have a discussion at 7, we can probably, let's do B. Agenda 5B, well testing update on Pleasant and Clements Hill Road, and then we'll go to the hearing.
I am going to actually ask you for a determination. We reached out to 4 labs for the cost of analysis. The best price we got was $300 per dwelling that we test. I do not believe we're going to test 41 dwellings, but we need to be prepared to test 41 because that's how many houses we're going to have to operate. That brings the price of, the total price to $12,000. Anything over $10,000 trips a long and lengthy bid process. So I would ask the board, do you want me to proceed with the bid process to get a contractor to do the well testing? Or do you want me to reach out to the potential person, get a solid number of people who would participate? And based on that number, we might be at a price that does not trip the requirement for a long bid process. 10,000 is the dollar. So if we have a preset list of persons who wish to do this, we can legally go out as using good practices, which is what we did to get this price. Unfortunately, the price tripped I think it's called a request for bids or request for quotes. So
Is that 300 for VOCs only?
300 for VOCs only. It was by Alpha Analytical. Alpha Analytical gave us $300 for VOCs, and total cost of time, collecting the sample and doing the VOCs and doing the 1,4-dioxane, they gave us about $300. The total to the property, including the basic water that I understand the board wants the homeowner to take water, is $500. So the homeowner would be responsible for a $200 test. The town would be responsible for $300.
How many homeowners are we talking about?
There is potential for 41.
41. How many had their tested the last time?
50.
15. So my guess would be we would probably be somewhere in that range. So at 15 times 300,
4,500.
Can we approve? I mean, we're not actually, all we're doing is recommending, right? Because the money actually comes from the town council. So we don't actually do anything more than just make a recommendation. So can't we just make the recommendation?
It would be irresponsible on our part to ask the council to fund something, but not tell the council the amount that we want them to fund.
So, okay.
So I can obviously put together a request for quotes, and in the request, put in a clause in there that if the money is not identified, then it's withdrawn. And if we do an official request for quotes, I don't know if that will change the numbers that came in already. It could come in at 20,000, it could come in at 2,000. I have no
Okay.
control over that.
Gus?
I just wanted to point out that as I recall, last time we did it, I think we set aside $5 grand for it. I mean, I think the price he's quoting is a little higher than it was last time, but that's as far as I know.
There is a requirement within DEP for a certain way to test for 1,4-dioxane, and we only solicited labs that were certified to do that particular procedure. And the last one was Microvac last time, and they are not certified to do that particular procedure.
So,
They did not solicit.
so why can't we do now? It's like we're making a recommendation up to 5,000. That would give you about, 17, 17 households. We had 15 last time, it would be about 17. And then it's the first 17 who request it. I mean, it's,
Then I want you in my office on the 18th and 19th for us to.
well, understand, but it's not,
I was going to say something to what you just said, is I think that, I mean, obviously we need to have some sort of a limit, but it would be very unfair to people if, 30 is going to show up and say they want their water tested.
so I just.
They are our citizens, so.
Understand, but can we agree to the 5,000 now? And then we may not have 17 come forward, within the time frame. And if it exceeds that, then we relook at it. But to not do it because we might exceed it seems a little foolish.
And I would recommend to the board that you give me a week to get letters out to everybody who's eligible. Ask them to respond to us by a given date
Yeah,
and close the door at that date.
and so we know.
So we know the number and we know the exact dollar amount to ask for from the council.
Okay,
And nobody after that is gonna be allowed in the door.
okay,
That's my recommendation.
I didn't vote for this, so.
Is that what you
Yeah,
had
I'm
last
fine
time?
with that.
I don't care if you didn't vote for it, it's part of the deal.
No, I know, but that's reasonable.
Mike Marquette again. Last year, when you voted on this, you voted 12,000, so I think you should vote 12,000 again. If that's what it has to be, then that's what it has to be. You may not have to spend 12,000, but I think you should ask for 12,000. That's what you voted for. That's what you asked for last year. Thank you.
all right. So, do we need to make a motion on this?
I think we need to at least by consensus, either make a motion and vote on it, or there's what is called a anonymous decision or consensus, in which case you as chair would announce that I propose we do this, and if there's no objections,
Yeah,
it's by consensus agreed upon.
I don't know whether there's a clear consensus right now on this, so I'd rather do it as a vote. So I'm gonna leave it up to throw Dave under the bus
That's fine.
and make.
I was the one who pushed it last
So
time,
you
so I
either,
have no problem with that.
so you're either doing
Now
the
we have
5
to-
or the 12.
So, based on the numbers that I saw last month, or 2 months ago, where it was only 15 homes, something like that. So I'm gonna recommend and make a motion to send off a letter to the 41 homes. Give a deadline date to respond, yea or nay, and then from that based on $300.
You don't have to, I'll second it, but if you want to second it? All right, so second. All right, so we have, I guess we had a discussion. All those in favor of David's proposal? Okay, all set. So let's do that, let's find out what the numbers are, and then we can go from there, and then get the testing. If that turns to be 15, could be, if it's 30, then we'll take it up that point.
Again, last time we did this, we sent everything out certified. It's my opinion that US mail actually works. And I would ask the board that you allow me to just send out regular mail. If we have to send anything certified on this, $7 times 41 times everything we sent to
To
these
the
people.
discretion of the health.
Thank you.
Okay, it is just after 7, with the board's approval, to open the public hearing for adopting solid waste regs. Are we okay? Okay, that Elizabeth? All right, so at 7:07, I'd like to open the public hearing for the adoption of solid waste regs. Andy, you wanna start it?
No,
Okay.
you can tell me your intentions. The last time we met to discuss this, you stepped off. What are your intentions?
Would say that again?
I said the last time we met,
Yeah.
you recused yourself. What are your intentions today?
Why?
Oh, no.
Because,
Adopting of solid waste
oh, I'm sorry,
regulations.
Ron, I'm saying I leave it.
Okay.
I take it back.
You're
Ron might just have-
My brain is already working on the next problem.
All right, so it's 7 o'clock, not 7:45. So, adoption of solid waste regulations.
All right, we have,
Probably should read the public hearing notice first.
I'm sorry,
I think by law, you have to read the